It's the Eagle Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shorman. Welcome to the Forum on Eagle Television. We have a guest from Gove County. Her name is Ericka Nicholson. And Ericka, you have been in Hays for a while. That's why your face is familiar to some of those out there.
Yep,
except now, your title is Economic or Executive Director of Economic Development in Gove County.
Exactly, yep.
I pulled up, there's a cool Gove County vehicle setting out there and doing that. What does the Economic Development Director do in Gove County?
A lot of people ask, how do you develop the economy out in Gove County? Well, we're primarily agricultural, as you could imagine, but we're strangely diverse as well. So it's about bringing in jobs, bringing in people to fill the jobs. We're having some issues with housing. So it's bringing all of those things together to create a perfect storm to bring in business, expand, recruit, retain, just everything all at one time.
You know, I have to think that it's one of the things, I guess it's a good vision for those in Gove County say we have to work on economic development because so many counties, I don't say not give up, but it almost becomes impossible to do. So somebody looking at Gove County, we'll talk about this, and then some special things have happened. We'll get into that.
Sure.
But why would a business want to locate in Gove County?
It is kind of frightening sometimes because our workforce is very low. We have the second lowest unemployment in the state, but we have businesses that are expanding. We have a lot of incentives right now. We passed a countywide neighborhood revitalization plan. We recently became eligible for the federal opportunity zone. That's an opportunity to utilize your capital gains in another way, so you're not paying the taxes on the capital gains. We have incentives, tax incentives locally. We have some free land opportunities in Grainfield and Grinnell. The city of Quinter is offering utility assistance. We're ready and willing for expansion. Hopefully we'll get a housing grant here in the next few months to help with housing for the workers that would be coming in for those expansion projects. Well,
one of the things that's cool, again, looking at putting those things together, you have to have a company that wants to grow there. You also or somebody locally that wants to expand a business to be able to do that as well. So, last few months, some exciting things have happened because you've been featured nationally.
Sure, yes.
In what's going on in Gove County. How did that come about? And then we'll talk about the specifics of it.
You bet. The Robert Woods Johnson Foundation commissioned a study on rural America. And some folks from the Wall Street Journal and George Washington University decided they were going to put a report out on rural America. And we were lucky enough that they featured Gove County as the most rural area. A gentleman from Garden City, to me and to you, probably Garden City doesn't seem rural, but Hays doesn't seem rural to me either. But when you go to Washington, D.C. and you sit on these panels, we are considered very, very rural. So it was exciting to be showcased in their article. And then they asked some of us back to sit on a panel to discuss the things that are happening in rural America. It was very fun.
Well, you mentioned that you are the rural of the ruralist.
Yes.
And what does that mean when you're looking at numbers? What are they looking at when they say rural? Is it just the number of people in the counties, or is it the number of people that actually are out in agriculture in the rural areas outside of Gove and all those towns?
I believe they looked at counties whose demographic were 30,000 and less. If you go to the American Communities Project webpage, all of us that are called the Aging Heartland, that part of the rural America, we're color-coded like a burgundy red. And when you hover over that, it tells you counties with a population of 30,000 or less. And of those of us that were there, Gove County with about 2,680 people was the smallest of all of us who were there.
Well, the title of part of the program that they were working on, I know, was the Aging Heartland.
Yes.
And did that scare you when that came out as the title, or is that concerning at all? Because it sums it up well.
It does. It encouraged me in that so many people are genuinely interested in it. You know, a lot of times, they call us flyover country or drive-through country. People are really paying attention to the importance of the survival of rural America now. They were particularly fascinated with the healthcare things that are going on in Gove County, some of the businesses that are expanding, and they just don't understand how we in rural America are able to do that. And I could have talked all day about how everybody is getting all these wonderful things done.
Well, you know, one of the things that we look at every day when you drive to work and it takes a couple minutes to get to work, maybe a stop sign that's annoying, but if you live in the big city, you spend hours a day sometimes in public transportation. You have everything from traffic jams to all the commuter issues that you have. And there's some things out here, like the sunset last night, they're just unbelievable in a way that most people in a big city. So you need to have the services to get that to happen. You mentioned health care.
Yep.
How did that tie into the conversation?
When the folks that were there, they expected me to give a report on how hard it is to find doctors to come to rural Kansas. And in many rural Kansas communities, it is very hard. And in many rural Kansas communities throughout the nation, it is hard. Gove County has a unique opportunity with the University of Kansas. Through Dr. Mackin, they bring second and third and fourth year med students out, then preceptors and med students. And on September 3rd, I think it was, or September 4th, we had 2 new family physicians start at Gove County Medical Center. So we have 5 physicians and 2 mid-levels in a county of about 2,680 people. We do serve adjacent counties. We offer OB. We're the only, between Hayes and Colby, we're the only regional type hub that'll deliver babies. That brings in a lot of interest. I think they were really surprised with the numbers of patients that we have, the pull we have for the medical community. And after the forum was over in Washington, D.C., people were asking a lot of questions about this partnership with the University of Kansas that one of our physicians has.
Well, when you have those kind of discussions, it sort of encourages you that there's life after agriculture, there's life after what goes on, because we all know what used to be the family farm is now the corporate farm, but that's big business.
Yes.
And so you have the big business there, but it's a lot less people. Gove County has the interstate running through the whole area, which was a real pipeline of not only transportation and others, it is a real help as well to be able to do that. How do you tie that in when you talk about it?
Well, we're also fortunate to have, within the last 5 years, our endowment has put together an airport. So we can utilize air, rail, and highway for many of our expanding businesses. We have businesses in Grainfield, Grinnell, and in Quinter that are all expanding, utilizing the highway, the railway, and the airport.
So what's the perfect business for Gove County?
Gosh, it depends on who you ask. You'd be surprised at the things that are popping up. The old Stuckey's in Grinnell, there's some folks that have moved in there and want to open that up. There's a new restaurant and brewery in Quinter. The addition of 2 new physicians, Premier Tillage in Gove County, is expanding, doing some business expansion. So whatever is missing, Gove County is a great place to put that business because of all of the incentives that are in place. You know, we have some new businesses on Main Street in Grainfield, in Grinnell, and in Quinter. It's just an exciting time.
What do you do when you have customers come, and you mentioned that, the number of employees?
Yeah.
How do you do that? You mentioned housing. What do you do to help with
Sure.
that side of things? Because you're not going to get, if somebody needs 3,000 employees,
Yes.
the town's only 2,600, and if everybody went to work,
Yep.
it's not going to happen.
Yep.
So how do you deal with that?
So when these inquiries come in, we utilize our affiliations with the Kansas Department of Commerce and the workforce. You've probably seen those giant vans come in. And so let's pretend like a manufacturing needs 25 employees and they find a location in Grinnell that they want to put their business, but they can only find 9 workers. We utilize our friends at the Kansas Department of Commerce to put us in touch with like Phyllis Lachelle with Workforce, and they come out and they'll do like a career fair. They'll help people put together a resume, apply for the different jobs, and I'll try to be there to talk to them about housing and about the schools and the grocery stores and the things that you can get out here in Western Kansas, because sometimes you can find that employee, but getting their partner or their spouse to commit to moving back to Gove County could be the hard part. So I feel like that's my job, you know, to go back and talk to them about all the great things about rural Kansas.
My guess is you can do a pretty good job about that, and
You
I'm
bet.
probably testifying. I want to find out how that panel went in D.C. We're
Yeah.
going to take a quick break here and come back and talk a little bit more about Gove County, what's
Great.
going on there, but more about what happened in D.C. when you guys were there talking about rural America. Exciting.
Excellent.
Thank you for being here. Hold on. We'll be back in just a few minutes and finish up talking about rural America in Gove County with Ericka Nicholson. Back with more after this.
Be one of our weekly winners through football season with the Wolf Furniture Gallery's Gridiron Glory. Players go to HaysPost.com to pick weekly winners in the NFL. Prizes will vary. The best at season end will claim the grand prize, a complete living room set. Register at HaysPost.com in the contest section. Football season could pay off big with the Wolf Furniture Gallery's Gridiron Glory. Presented by Wolf Furniture Galleries, Eagle Marketing Solutions, HaysPost.com, and Eagle Radio.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I've chased the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa!
Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
Have you considered the value that quality video content can bring to your business? Mid-America Productions can provide professional visual media to effectively engage your target audience. We're a full-service video production company serving Salina and surrounding regions for over 35 years. Whether you need videos for promotion, sales, training, fundraising, or other purposes, our experienced team can deliver for you. Find us online at mapvideo.net. That's mapvideo.net.
It's the A Street Liquor Top Tailgate Contest on HaysPost.com. Show your Tiger Tailgate crew flashing the A Street Liquor Tailgate Cup and you could win. Don't have a cup? Then get to 8th Street Liquor to get your tailgating supplies and get a cup for free. Okay, so you have the cup. Get to the game. Grab your crew, snap a picture, and enter on HaysPost.com. The picture with the most votes wins a prize from A Street Liquor. It's the Top Tailgate Contest on HaysPost.com by A Street Liquor, where the good times and tailgating start.
Welcome back to our forum program here on Eagle Television. If you have any ideas for future shows, I'd like to hear from you. Send me your note, gary.shorman@eaglecom.net, and we'll try to get that person or that business on our program to talk about the great things they do. Our guest today is Ericka Nicholson. She's with the Economic Development Corporation over in Gove. They're working on rebuilding, doing things, and we went into the break talking about Washington, D.C. Yeah. You got to fly to D.C., be on a panel with a group. How big was the group?
There were 5. There were 2 of us from Kansas, 2 from Arkansas, and 1 from North Dakota. And we represented different types of rural America.
And so you were the smallest. Tell me the setup in the room. What was it like?
Sure. Well, I will tell you, with all the news that was going on in Washington, D.C., we didn't know if anybody would even show up. But the room was packed. There was standing room only. There was a table and chairs for about 6 of us in the front. They gave a brief overview and presentation of the report that they had released on rural America. And then we did a Q&A with the members of the press that were there. Lots of representatives from the USDA, 4-H Farm Bureau, the Census, Politico. Lots of folks were there and had lots of really good questions.
Did they shine the bright lights on you and
Not
say,
like these bright lights.
these will get you, won't they?
They're pretty bright.
Talk about what you do when you're trying to recruit people. During the break we were talking about, sometimes, the availability of broadband. I understand great broadband that you have to allow people not only business connect, but also people coming to town. Does that help in the recruitment process when you're trying to get, say, a doctor to come to town and their spouse, et cetera, needs something to do?
Yep. Absolutely. In fact, we do that with teachers. In the summertime, the school might be interviewing some teachers, and perhaps there isn't a position for the teacher's spouse or the teacher's partner. We're very fortunate with our internet capabilities in Gove County and throughout western Kansas, to be honest, that folks can have web-based businesses out of their homes. There is a company out of Dallas called Rural and Remote. So let's pretend, Gary, that you land a job in Quinter and your spouse or your partner says, Gary, I'd really love to move there, but what am I going to do in Quinter? Well, you'd meet with the Economic Development Director, and I would connect you with Rural and Remote. Perhaps your partner's background is insurance or sales or something, and we can connect them with an opening. Perhaps it's on the East Coast or the West Coast, and they can actually work from Gove County get full benefits, get the salary that they need to get to stay in Gove County. It's very exciting.
Well, you see that happening, and those are the tools that you have to have together. I know you have people within the county that are helping this go, and I think you have financially, how do you keep that moving?
I will tell you some of our private business relationships are important. You're familiar with the Dane G. Hansen Foundation. They are teaching us how to reinvest in ourselves. We have the Gove County Community Foundation, and through the things that we learned through the Dane G. Hansen Foundation, we're able to build our own set of funds in Gove County to help with projects like that. And I know you guys have the same thing here in Hayes. It's amazing, it's fantastic. And without those private partnerships, those opportunities for growth just aren't there.
When you talk to others about your job, because there's other counties, does every county have the same sort of inspirational person like you? If you go to the 105 counties in Kansas,
I think so. I would say that people like me get a lot of credit for the things that our community members do. You know, I can be on your show or I can go to Washington, D.C., but without the people in our communities who are truly willing to reinvest, nobody wants to talk to people like me. You know, they're not doing good things. I look at our friends in Ricks County and Ellis County. I loved living here. You know, you guys not only talk the talk, you walk the walk. And I think that's what makes economic development successful in very rural areas. Gove County is no exception. Our endowment and the airport and our hospital and their physicians and we have a new cobblestone hotel. You know, I may have found some of those folks the financing vehicle to get those things done, but without the people on the ground reinvesting in the community, none of those things are possible. So, you know, we can come here and talk about how awesome it is, but it's the people that I represent that are the really awesome part of it.
And when a business shows up in town, whether it be just happen to go through on I-70 to go out to Colorado or vice versa, going the other way, that community has to represent themselves well at the same time.
I agree.
And so if you can help coach that, that's a big plus as well, because you're right, so many times people just try to get through the state as fast as they can without taking the time to be able to do the business. What else do you do to advertise? I mean, how does somebody find out about, of all the counties, of all the states that have rural, how do you stand out and help yourself find that business that somebody else doesn't go after first?
I will tell you, we're really lucky in Gove County to have Nicole Godek runs a website called Love Small Town America. And again, focusing on the rural needs, you can Google Quinter, Kansas, and the first hit you'll get is Love Small Town America. And it'll take you in and it'll tell you about their schools, their city councils, the businesses that they have. And she has a membership for Gove County and then all of the communities within Gove County. And if you need carpet, you can click on the carpet store. If you need a pharmacy, you can click on the pharmacy store. Fuel, we use that primarily. We do a lot of social media stuff. A lot of our businesses do a lot of social media. We have a new business on Main Street in Quinter, and they do like live pop-ups on Facebook and Periscope on Twitter and things like that. So utilizing the capabilities that we have through the internet is a big tool for them as well.
So how does somebody get in contact with you? Obviously they see you on the program, they say this is cool, they're watching this on the internet somewhere, anywhere in the world. They're going, boy, that Gove County sounds like something I'd want. How do they find out about you?
Well, you can visit the county's website, govecountykansas.com, and then there's a tab for economic development. You can click on that and there's my contact information.
And they'll find you, and you'll get them hooked up with the right people and start working down the process.
Yes.
Ericka, you do a great job. I love your enthusiasm for doing this. Ericka Nicholson has been our guest. She's the Executive Director of Economic Development in Gove County. Good to have you here.
Thank
we'll
you.
look for your online. I want to go take a look at your site and see what Love Small Town America.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Hope you get a chance to check that out. Thanks for watching the Forum here on Eagle Television. It's brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communications. Our community connected.